Good morning, good afternoon, good evening and good night, depending on what time you're watching this next episode from me, Avomance, in my experimentation series. Yep, we are going to do another experiment video. You may have seen recently that I did an experiment as to see how many ores you get in different biomes in one chunk across several different worlds. I did 2 videos on that. Links are in the description below because there were some really interesting findings. I won't do any spoilers. Go and take a look at the videos and you'll see what happened. I've also really recently been doing a collaboration with Carlcraft where we are transforming a village together, and we're transforming the same village. So I found the village, I gave Kyle the seed to the world, he generated his own world, he went to the same locations, found the village that I was at, but the villages weren't exactly the same. They were actually quite different numbers of different buildings. And I thought, that's interesting. Why don't we see whether or not in a few different worlds, across a few different seeds, if we generate the worlds on the same seed, will we get the same looking village in 1.14? I am in snapshot 1.14, top left, 19W 12A. That is what we're going to do this in. Let's take a look. So this is also an interactive experiment. In the comments below, why don't you load up these exact same seeds, go to the exact same locations, and we'll see whether or not you get the same villages that I get, or whether your village is different. Maybe you can send me a screenshot to my Twitter and we can have a look and compare and contrast. But definitely in the comments below, let me know. This seed is minus 72404407042437999199. That is this seed. We need to go and find ourselves a village. Any village, doesn't matter. Let's just drive in a straight line and see whether or not we can find a village. Now, village mechanics in 1.14 are obviously changing significantly, and I wonder whether or not that has any effect on the other elements of the village. I'm also looking forward to seeing some of the funny looking villages. So let's find a village and we can start this experiment right now. So I have found a really lovely little village, and we are, hang on, I'm just going to check what direction I'm facing exactly. You can see my red line in the middle is exactly lined up with my green, so I'm facing exactly east from the village. So let's just turn that F3 screen off. So you can see here, there's some really nice buildings over here. We've got a few buildings that way. We've got a few buildings over this way. So if I come up, turn off my thing and look at this village from above like that, I'm going to take a screenshot so as we can see it in comparison. We should come down a little bit so we can see it in comparison later. Little screenshot there, and that is this village on this seed. Let me remind you what the seed is. There we go. So it's minus 724044070424379999. Now I am going to go and load up another world with that exact seed, and then we're going to come to these exact coordinates, which is minus 929, 113, minus 31382. So that's minus 929, 113, minus 1382. Let's see if they look the same. So I am now in the world generator. This is seed 1, world 2. And we have got, again, the seed minus 72404407042437999199. Exactly the same seed. I'm going to create this new world, and I'm going to talk through you so you can see we're going to the same world. I'm not doing some kind of jump cut, so you end up with a different world. And we're going to see whether or not, looking at exactly the same coordinates, minus 929 slash 113 slash minus 1382, we're going to see whether or not that gives us the same looking village. So let's slash TP Avomance minus 929 113 minus 1382. So that should take us to the village eventually. There we go. Let it load in. This is the snapshot, remember, so it is going to be a little bit, not necessarily laggy, but a little bit taking its time. Load in, there we go, it is loading in. Now what I want to do is I want to press the F3 screen and I want to be facing in exactly the same way. There, like that. And is the village exactly the same? Right, so looking at this village looks at least very, very similar to the last one. But is it the same? So let's jump between the two villages now. So we've got, see, the hay barns and the houses here. We've got the other smaller houses down here. It looks pretty similar so far. I do like the drop there. That's actually quite cool. Then we've got these houses like that. So that's what that one looks like. And here is another one. It is the same seed. If I slash seed, you look. It's exactly the same seed. You can see we are still in 19W12A, and that is the same village location as you saw, and it looks pretty much the same again. We're just going to compare this with the other photos, but I think we've pretty much got a match. We're going to try it now with a brand new seed. So I'm just going to create a new completely random world, and we'll call this Seed 2 World 1. We're going to change the game mode to creative. Just look at more options. It is blank for a random seed, and we're going to create this world. And we're going to see what this does to us and see whether or not a village in this world is the same as another village in the same world seed, but in another world. That's a lot of worlds, but we're going to see whether or not this works. We have to know. So where have we landed? We have found an island in the middle of nowhere. Well, that's absolutely marvelous. But what is the seed? So slash seed. This seed is minus 2864354400792619602. So now I'm just going to locate a village. Where's the closest village? Oh, no, I didn't do that very well. Slash locate village. Like that. Okay, so it's a long way away, isn't it? Blimey, it's nearly 1,500 blocks away. So slash TP Avomance minus 1456. Let's say, what, 120 minus 480. Let's go there and we'll see whether or not this first village that we look at looks exactly the same as exactly the same village in exactly the same location as other villages in the same. Oh, what, we got a wintry one this time. That's good because that's a bit of a difference. So let's get, again, let's make sure we're facing in the right direction every single time. Let's come down. Where should we look? Let's look this way. This is going to be tricky to see, isn't it, because of the nature of the village. But so we're facing, you can see we've facing exactly, so that's facing south, that's facing west, so we're facing exactly southwest. Let's turn that off. And that is what this village looks like. Is the next village at the same place going to look exactly the same? Same as last time, minus 286435400792619602. Create the new world, and then we're going to transport ourselves to minus 1455, 120, height is sort of irrelevant as long as it's not underground, and minus 479. And if we do that immediately, slash TP minus, oh no, me, let's teleport myself rather than a random cow, minus 1455, 120, minus 479, and let's see where this takes us. Come on, show me where, show me the village, show me the village, show me the village. Okay, so now we need to come out of the village and we need to face exactly the same direction, which was this way, coming out. So we were there. Is that the same village as the last one? and the third version of the same seed at the same location, is it exactly the same? And the third village is placed at 73, obviously about 100, I'm flying at the moment, 40, 73, 40, really, really close to 0, 0, with the seed being minus 4, 7, 8, 5, 3, 4, 2, 3, 1, 2, 4, 3, 9, 1, 1, 1, 2, 6, 3. This is quite a nice little plains village, actually. It's really pretty, and that is what it looks like. Let's get ourselves a decent view of it, but we're going to open up another couple of worlds and we're going to see whether or not it looks the same. And this is the second world with exactly the same seed there, you can see. And does that look the same? So flicking through the pictures and the screenshots that we took of the first seed world, we can see that they look pretty much identical. The central house, the little square one in the center, that's the same. The farm up in kind of up past the top of the center is the same. The tree with the haystacks on the right hand side is the same. Even the shape of the jetty that goes out into the water does look exactly the same. Even the placement of things like the hay bales across the village look to be exactly the same. But the one thing I did notice is that the tree placement in the bottom left, the generation of the trees in the third world, is different, but obviously that's nothing to do with the village. Similarly, in the snowy tundra village, all of the houses look not only to be in the same place exactly, but in the same order, and even the paths that have been cut out from the snow look to have been cut out in exactly the same way, irrelevant of whether or not it is in World 1, World 2, World 3 of the same seed. In the large plains village, it looks to be exactly the same. We've got identical house placement, we've got identical farm placement, we've got identical road placement. What we haven't got, however, is some identical mushroom placement. Some of the mushrooms that appear in some worlds don't appear in others. You can see that the mushrooms at the bottom disappear. We've got both the red mushrooms and the flat top brown mushrooms are slightly different in the 3 different worlds that we checked. Okay, you could say that that was only a very small study, and you would be right. 3 different seeds across 3 different worlds in each seed, but they all gave us exactly the same results. What I hadn't realised is this was a haunted village, this one, with the cobwebs, etc. It just means it's going to have loads of zombies and stuffs in it. I hadn't realised that. It's a new type of village that you get in 1.14. You get these kind of haunted ones that have got no live villagers. I think they're quite cool, to be honest. The fact it's got 2 churches and they're both fairly, I don't know, scary type, rusticy, haunted-y type stuff. Looks quite cool. Anyway, that's by the by. It looks as though in 1.14 it does not have the same feature that it does in 1.14. The village mechanic is such that the way it builds up the village is the same in every seed, irrelevant of how many times you generate the world. That's not true in 1.13. I proved it wasn't true in 1.13 as a result of Kyle Craft and I generating exactly the same seed with exactly the same village and having it in a different layout with different numbers of buildings. I wonder if that is because of the additional details that they're putting into the villages now on 1.14, which I have to say I much prefer. Go and have a look on your own worlds. Go and lob in those seeds, all 3 of them. Go to the locations, make sure that you're in the latest snapshot, at least the snapshot that I was in there, which is 19W12A, and see whether or not you get exactly the same results. I would be hugely interested to see whether or not you do. If you have enjoyed this experimental video, please do let me know by smacking that like button. It'd be great to know you're enjoying them, and I'll keep on making these experiments. What kind of experiments would you like me to try? Stick them down in the comments below. It'd be great to hear from you. Also, if you've not done it already, please do hit that subscribe button. It'd be great to see you in my sub club, and I look forward to seeing you in another video. You take it easy now. Bye.